that day and time of the week when the Nigerian Television Authority NTA brings you the major stories making the news rounds. From the presidential villa, the Infrastructure Concession Regulatory Commission had its turn to brief President Buhari. We'll tell you what the president had to say. Also, recall that not too long ago, there was a presidential directive to harmonize all the sources of biometric data. Well, the National Identity Management Commission and the Federal Road Safety Corps are already working out the process. In other news, we are keeping a close watch on flood-prone areas in the country. How did we become vulnerable to the yearly release of water from a dam in another country? We'll try to bring you the answer. Plus, a close look at the traditional cooking method for hundreds of millions, which is a huge health risk. To find out more, stay tuned to News Extra with me, Aisha Bello Mustafa. Thank you for joining us. Worried by the huge infrastructural deficit in Nigeria and dwindling resources, President Muhammadu Buhari has tasked the Infrastructure Concession Regulatory Commission to accelerate investment in national infrastructure through private sector funding in line with its strategic objectives. This was when the Director General and other officials of the Commission briefed him on its activities as a regulatory agency for public-private partnership. Let's get the details from State House correspondent Adamu Sambo.
Records show that Nigeria requires over $2.5 trillion to put in proper place her infrastructural needs for the overall growth of the economy as a result of the dwindling oil revenues. With the reality that the government cannot do it alone, President Muhammadu Buhari said the private sector must be accepted as partners in progress, provided the nation will not do such things.
Private sector will be allowed to invest in the country and recoup their investment. And ICRC will be there to guide ministries, department and agency on how to structure these transactions. And when it's properly signed and executed, we will also take custody of those agreements to ensure that there is proper compliance.
The interactive meeting acknowledged the offer by the African Development Bank to finance the engagement of transaction advisor for the Nigeria Trans-Saharan gas pipelines which the country is building. Similarly, Nigeria's proposal to build 3 deep sea ports with a combined estimated cost of $6 billion was also discussed.
So you can imagine the kind of opportunities it will create as far as job creation is concerned, as far as the vibrancy of the economy is concerned. So we are reviewing these proposals with the Ministry of Transport, and in due course we will come out with a position on that.
On agricultural silos spread all over the country, President Muhammadu Buhari directed the Commission to involve state governors to see how best they can engage farmers to utilize them. The President also directed ministries, departments and agencies to make adequate budgetary provision for capital development. Otherwise, alternative sources of funding must be sought elsewhere. The President also sought to know the progress of work on the second Niger Bridge project started under the Infrastructure Concession Regulatory Commission Act.
We know that it's a critical road. We also know how Nigerians suffer, at least during festive holidays. We hear people even sleep on on that old bridge. So the time is right for us to bring succor to multiple of Nigerians who utilize that road.
The Managing Director and other officials of the Niger Delta Development Commission also briefed the President on the activities of the Commission established in 2000 to ensure sustainable development of the Niger Delta region. Details of the Commission's engagement with the President were not made public, and the Managing Director, Basi Danabia, failed to say much when confronted by newsmen.
Of course, I came to see my president. Why do you want to know?
The NDDC Managing Director, Basi Danabia, however, used the forum to debunk the allegation that the Commission cannot account for over 180 billion naira meant to improve the living standards of the people of the Niger Delta region, raised by the Office of the Auditor General of the Federation.
No 183 billion is missing. If the truth must be told, how many of us know that the audited accounts under reference refer to 2008 to 2012. I was not the MD then.
The managing director insists that NDDC, under his leadership, has done its very best for the region in line with its mandate. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
Moving on to security matters, the 7th Division of the Nigerian Army, Maiduguri, has arrested one person suspected of supplying fuel to Boko Haram terrorists. The division also announced the arrest of 3 suspected fraudsters who allegedly have been obtaining money from individuals seeking the release of their relations detained in connection with the Boko Haram crisis. Memuna Garba reports.
The 7th Division Nigerian Army Maiduguri paraded Bashir Ali, the suspected supplier of petroleum products to Boko Haram terrorists in their hideout, alongside his 3 collaborators. Deputy Director Army Public Relations 7th Division, Colonel Kubur Ismail Busan said the suspect was arrested at a filling station in Maiduguri using Peugeot 504 vehicle with a 500-litre capacity fabricated tank. Upon interrogation, the suspect confessed that he used the vehicle to carry up to 3,000 litres of PMS daily to Boko Haram insurgents. The division also apprehended a Toyota Corolla with 18 jerrycans containing PMS, whose driver, on sighting the military, took his fuel and abandoned the vehicle.
What he's doing 3,000 liters in a day is quite questionable, and we are still investigating that. Based on that, we took all the people that were connected with that, the fuel attendant, the manager, and everybody that's connected. We are still investigating. These arrests were made due to the credible information we received from the public. We call on them to continue to render us such services, and we assure them that within the shortest possible time we will bring an end to this problem of insurgency in the state.
Also arrested were 3 people: Alhaji Baba of Golgowod, Abubakar Tijani Lawal of London City, and Umar Ali of Gidan Zambe, all in Maiduguri, who claim to be members of civilian JTF, who allegedly used the name of the GOC and other senior officers to extort money from individuals whose relations are in detention. Colonel Busan says the division views this act of criminality as a well-calculated attempt by some Boko Haram terrorists and their collaborators or sympathizers to ridicule the successes recorded in the fight against insurgency. In Maiduguri, Memuna Garba, NTA News.
The chairman of National Population Commission, Eze Duru Ihoma, says a proper understanding of Nigeria's population dynamics is key to helping the present administration in its war against insurgency. He was speaking during interactions with participants of the National Security Training Seminar from the Defense Intelligence Agency. Let's get the details from Dennis Adeguloye.
It is fair to say that the Buhari administration, in its commitment towards bringing insurgency to an end in the country, will welcome from all quarters any legitimate input towards achieving this national desire. And with the importance of population in matters of security, the Defense Intelligence Agency aims to garner from the National Population Commission all possible avenues towards achieving a safe and peaceful country for all citizens.
To this end, head of the delegation of the National Security Training Seminar, Air Commodore Peter Iki, stressed that a lot of factors come into play which inform the decision to enter into a working partnership with the National Population Commission.
We want to expand their knowledge in understanding these critical issues or ideas and implementing it in line with government policy trusts.
Chairman of the Commission, Eze Duru Ihoma, noted that operations of the Commission are relevant, particularly in the current times, and keeping accurate tabs on births, deaths, and migration is crucial.
To manage identity, first of all, you have to establish that identity. You have to establish that somebody who has presented himself to you as a Nigerian is truly a Nigerian.
He said that factors that impinge on the security situation in the country are multi-dimensional and cut across economic, social, political, geographical and demographic profiles of the country. Furthermore, components of human population impact directly on national security. With an annual exponential growth rate of 3.2%, the current population of Nigeria, he opined, is such that the national economy appears overstretched to support it. He called on all Nigerians to see the forthcoming population and housing census in 2016 based on biometric data capture as an economic exercise that will contribute immensely to national security. In Abuja, Dennis Adigwe, NTA News.
And for a bit on data management, in line with the presidential directive on the harmonization of identity database to avoid multiple identification, the Federal Road Safety Corps has met with the management of the National Identity Management Commission in order to map out strategies for the harmonization process in Abuja. Ali Tukur has the details.
At the meeting result to constitute committees that will collectively look at the process of the harmonization holistically with a view of taking a pragmatic approach to solve problems that may arise. FRSC Co-Marshal Boboye Oyeyemi said the harmonization will not only checkmate duplication but also be used as a tool for socio-economic development.
FRS and it has been interfacing over the period, so this is just to complete the handshake and that the two technical teams will commence work immediately so that the actualization within the shortest possible time as per your timeline which we are working on for Mr. President is achieved.
The Director General of the National Identity Management Commission expressed optimism that the partnership will fast-track the process.
What we hope to get out of this meeting is a small group of IT people who can then sit down and detail out the few things that we need to do.
It is believed that the harmonization of the identity database will improve so many things like national security, public safety and service delivery, among others. In Abuja, Ali Tukur, NTA News.
In spite of several reports on NTA to call the attention of authorities to the continued influx of illegal immigrants through the land border in Sene, another set of Togolese immigrants have arrived at the office of the National Commission for Refugees and Internally Displaced Persons in Ikoyi, Lagos. Musa Toliat has an update on the situation.
Lagos overnight Tuesday, and their destination was the office of the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons at Abuja, Lagos.
Less than 2 months, a total of 183 illegal immigrants from Togo have found their way into Nigeria through the land border in Sene. The person that
we apologize for the loss of sound in that report. Now, the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, has announced the cancellation of contracts for delivery of crude oil to refineries due to exorbitant cost and inappropriate process of engagement. The action is aimed at cost reduction and strengthening of operational efficiency across the value chain. A statement from the Office of the Group General Manager, Group Public Affairs Division, Ohi Alebe, says that the corporation has engaged a subsidiary of NNPC to provide crude oil delivery service on negotiated industry standard rate pending the establishment of a substantive contract. NNPC has now resolved to deliver crude oil to refineries by marine vessels following incessant attacks on refinery pipelines. The corporation also announced the termination of the offshore processing agreement entered into in January 2015 with Duke Oil Company Incorporated, ITO Energy Resource Limited and Sahara Energy Resources. The NNPC authority believes that the agreement was skewed in favor of the companies. The statement further said that NNPC has commenced the process of establishing alternative agreement and has invited some oil companies to bid for new offshore processing agreement. The NNPC has obtained the permission of President Muhammadu Buhari to kickstart the tendering process for the 2015-2016 crude oil term contract for evacuation of Nigeria's crude oil equity from the various crude and condensate production arrangement. Moving on to the National Assembly now, where the Senate has received a petition against the chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Ibrahim Lamurde, over alleged misappropriation of more than 2 trillion naira recovered from financial crime offenders. Chairman, Senate Committee on Ethics, Privileges and Public Petition, Senator Samuel Anyanwu, received the petition at the committee's first sitting this Wednesday. National Assembly correspondent Abdullahi Garba Barnakudu reports that Senator Anyanwu also walked out representatives of the EFCC for what he described as misrepresentation.
The petition against EFCC was brought to the Senate by Dr. George Obo, representing Panic Alert Security Systems Powers.
Total naira recoveries I have is you take the 975 billion naira that we recovered from June 2008 when she started, plus the recoveries before Waziri came on board from 2004 to 2007, which is 987 billion, plus recoveries after Waziri left the FCC, that is from 2012 to 2013, we now have a total of 9.995 trillion. This is the measure
which presented several evidence to back up his petition. His alleged bad cash and assets recovered by the EFCC in the past 11 years are not being accounted for. He accused the EFCC chairman for allegedly misappropriating monies recovered from former Bayelsa State Governor Dipo Yalemesia and former IGP Tafa Balogun. The petitioner also accused EFCC of discrepancies in its accounting system and dealings with some banks.
After you look at my evidence, I will give you 30 days. If the evidence I've submitted is fake, arrest me.
No sooner had Dr. Ugbo presented his petition, officials of the EFCC program, particularly the head of legal department, Mr. Phile Okoroma, reacted this way.
I really want to enlighten the People's President. I don't know the president of the committee.
The Senate Committee on Ethics referred to a letter written by EFCC chairman seeking to appear before the committee on a later date. It therefore asked the EFCC officials to work out as they will be invited on a separate date.
The bottom line of this letter is that we are asking for extension of time. That's the bottom line. So at the time when we invite, we want the chairman to also attend the service. Thank you, Mr. Police.
There is no motive behind the petition. The allegation that the Senate President masterminded it is false. It's totally not true, not correct. The Senate will not be blackmailed into not carrying out our constitutional responsibilities.
After cross-examining the petitioner, the committee says it will be thorough in its investigations. Also at the hearing, the Senate Committee on Ethics received another petition to investigate the state of some revenues not appropriated but being utilized by the Federal Inland Revenue Service and the Nigerian Customs Service. The petition was presented by a group called the Legislative Watch.
For those eager to know the outcome of the investigation by the Senate Committee on Ethics and Privileges, they have to wait a little, because the committee says it's going to invite the respondent in their letter date, whereby they invite the petitioner again to respond to some of the questions that may arise from the petition. From the National Assembly, Abdullahi Garba Barnakudu, NTA News.
Nigerians are assured that President Muhammadu Buhari's fight against corruption is not aimed at witch hunting, but to restore sanity in the system that will benefit all. Talatu Ezirike reports that this is the standpoint of discussions on NTA's Current Affairs program, Tuesday Live. Take a look. Corruption, identified as a major impediment to development, is believed to be a cankerworm that has eaten deeply into the fabric of the Nigerian society.
I'm a victim. There was a time, a brother of mine, and one of the paramilitaries decided to bring as much as 100,000.
Analysts say Nigerians over the years watch with dismay how corruption was almost the order of the day. They are happy that President Buhari is tackling it head on.
Look at the power situation. This is a sector in which 16 billion US dollars, 16 billion US dollars was sunk into it. Nothing came out of it. And here we are, without a penny of the Nigerian government money going into this sector. Everybody is sitting up and they're doing the right things, ensuring that power, and this is just one area of national life.
This is a good moment for us now. At least people are now scared to commit
more post-mega corruption in this country, because even those who have done it in the past, they are trying to see how they can repent.
But how will the president fight corruption differently this time? And are they likely to be scapegoats?
President Buhari will not shield anybody, whether they are party members or even family members that are caught in wrongdoing.
What is in place to protect whistleblowers and to tackle likely root causes of corruption?
There is provision in the ICPC Act to provide protection, but we know that the bill has actually been prepared and sent to the National Assembly to put into place a stronger whistleblowers protection facility in this country. I am just looking forward to Mr. President declaring firmly one day, one morning, that we should return to the teaching of history in our schools and civics. Because we have forgotten so many things even as adults that we are no longer teaching our children. Instead, we are infecting our children in our homes, not even in schools, with the bad things.
It is generally agreed that the entrenchment of right values and principles would guarantee the desired change for a new Nigeria. Tonight is a NTA News. Also on another NTA current affairs program, Moment for Thought, discussants say the fight against corruption and entrenchment of right values, particularly programs that promote agricultural development, are key in the nation's quest for a new Nigeria that is predicated on change.
Only recently, greed has overtaken our life. People are poor, people are hungry, and we are keeping all this money in their private funding. We forget about death. We forgot that the most important source of employment in this country is agriculture. If most of the Nigerians are in agriculture, and they do not support agriculture, can you genuinely say that you are supporting employment? Once you supply this, people become happy with themselves because they are able to feed themselves, they are able to feed the country and export.
The program comes up tonight at 11 o'clock on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA. If you're just joining us, you're watching News Extra on the NTA. Up ahead, Southern Nigeria People's Assembly hold a strategic meeting in Akure. Governor Miniko has a lot to say to them. The details in just a moment. I'll be right back.
Nothing feels better than having stuff made just for you, like the NTA Super
This special plan gets me. It treats me like royalty.
And roaming? This plan allows you to receive calls and SMS for free in more countries.
When they ask me why I love MTN Super Saver Plus, I just say it's
MTN Super Saver Plus, because success has its privileges.
MTN, everywhere you go.
You ask, can one turn the first steps of a little beginning into greatness? Can a man become a master to run her own business and succeed at what she does? Can a small help bring the dream to life and give young dreamers a chance to make it big with a complete financial partner like Standard IBTC? It's not if you can, it's when you can get to our doors for the help you need to go from success to success, no matter what stage you are in life. Standard IBTC, moving forward.
From the very first time I met my girl, I knew I had to stay connected to her and keep her close. I needed a plan, so I got one. Nah. What kind of plan you thinking of? I got a fine one plan. Airtel Unlimited. A data package that gives me a fast and reliable browsing experience. That's not all.
It also allows me to make calls and send SMS. And it gets even better with the game changer that allows me to stay connected to WhatsApp, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, BBM, and Tugo, even when my data runs out. Now that's the unlimited advantage. So I'm always connected to my family, friends, business partners, my fans, and of course, my girl. Now I've got an unlimited affection.
Enjoy endless connection with Airtel Unlimited, the data package that keeps you connected to social media even when your data runs out. Dial *489# to subscribe for the small, medium, large or extra large package. Airtel, the smartphone network.
The National Universities Commission wishes to inform proprietors and visitors to universities to adhere strictly to the approved government structure for Nigerian universities to constitute government councils without further delay for those who do not have properly constituted government councils. Thirdly, to advise visitors to state universities and board of trustees to private universities which are due for visitation which must be conducted every 5 years to do so within the next 8 weeks. Failure to comply with these directives will attract strict sanctions. Please see The Guardian, Daily Trust, and Disney newspapers of Thursday, 27th August 2015 for full details. Management Announcer.
Word sums up the most fulfilling mission of humanity: creativity. In numerous places, humanity is still engaged in the struggle between censorship and creativity. Now, this creativity can take many forms, from physical achievements to theoretical physics. And the arts, being able to access information stored in the cloud, that is the fruit of the union of the arts and technology, which all writers enjoy. Communication.
Enjoying evening with children and award-winning writers in art such as Sefiaka, Tokwesalari, E.C. Osanju, and the performing artist Ibanj, there's Studio Yelano and Ego, plus the official launch of the World Literature Prize for undergraduate students. Postpaid customers signify your interest by sending KONGI to 33002. Prepaid customers use 5,000 naira and take KONGI to 33002 to qualify for the VIP guest draw. Friday, August 28th at 7 p.m. at the Convention Center. Convention Suites, Victoria Island, Lagos. Glow Unlimited. The spring. Exploration. March. Wine, dine, laugh and celebrate. Our life dinner every Thursday. Always at Reach Continental Hotel. Tastefully furnished rooms with complimentary internet facilities, complimentary bar, complimentary breakfast, large open halls, multi-level car park, a breathtaking landscape, Squisita Hospitalita. Reach Continental Hotel from 779 Central Area, Abuja, Nigeria. Reach Continental Hotel. There is a reason Africa is called the new frontier. What was once potential is now an opportunity ready to be seized. Once revered for our resources, today's wealth lies in our people. People who build the systems that shape the future. People who know an idea in one place means business in another. A generation for whom technology means there are no borders, no boundaries. We are the new lions in a brave new world. Kings of the urban jungle. And there's a bank that puts the world in our pocket and the future in our hands. UBA, Africa's global bank.
Thank you for being there. The fight against corruption should be given a systematic, holistic approach built on the threshold of equity, fairness, justice, and national unity. Ondo State Governor Dr. Olusegun Mimiko expressed this view in Akure at the strategic meeting of the Southern Nigerian People's Assembly. Doris Elimoko has the details.
The Southern Nigeria People's Assembly is an assemblage of people from the southeast, southwest, and south-south states of Nigeria with the aim of building sustainable bridges of cooperation, unity, and understanding. The meeting of the group in Akure was to diagnose various national issues with a view of forging a common front. In his opening address, the governor of Ondo State, Dr. Olusegun supported the anti-corruption stance of the federal government with an advice that there should be no sacred cow. On the appointment of Mrs. Amina Zakari as the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, some members of the sub-regional group have this to say.
The federal government is moved to look into the recommendations.
There were goodwill messages from representatives of each zone, while other speakers eulogized the late Ooni of Ife Oba Okwade Shijuade for his roles in promoting democracy in Nigeria. In Akure, Doris Elimoko, NTA News.
The world witnessed significant advancement in science and technology innovation in the last 10 decades, prompting the necessity to focus on what the future holds for this sector, where many nations lag behind. From the just concluded World Science Conference in Jerusalem, science correspondent Kerian Omayo reports that sustaining scientific development through inspiring young scientists to key into research findings dominated discussion at the conference. Kerian?
Senior scientists at the conference went beyond just participation, as the application of science in solving the problems of mankind was played up in their analysis of the global event. They advised leaders of developing countries to divest science from politics to give the sector its premium position, because when science is made priority, the world will have the understanding of the future.
The young people who came here have been enormously enthusiastic about what has transpired.
For the students, it has been a cross-pollination of ideas and multidisciplinary approach to scientific studies, which oftentimes leads to creativity. There were group lectures to stimulate intellectual competition. My group, we actually worked on effects of epigenetic effects of air pollution.
The use of cell extract in formation of new cells, like we use example of using extract from mice, the cell of a liver from the mice, then to form new skin tissues, which can be used to repair damages in the skin. I think in our country there is the lack of resources, so there will really pursue the advance towards the innovations in the field of medicine.
Permanent Secretary, Minister of Science and Technology, Wilfred Oyorita, commended Nigeria's representation without some fanfare. The 2015 World Science Conference has come to an end with a colorful ceremony, but the memory of the week-long intellectual activities will remain evergreen in the minds of the 400 students from across the globe who had the privilege of interacting with some of the best scientists in the world, who have given them the inspiration and the encouragement to sustain the tempo in the pursuit of their careers. From Hebrew University in Jerusalem, Kirian Umayo, NTA News.
There couldn't have been a successful and transparent 2015 general elections in Nigeria without the application of technological innovation. Director of ICT, Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, and initiator of the smart card reader used at the 2015 general election, Chidi Nwafo, said this at a lecture in Abuja. Let's get more on this from Elayinka Ojo.
Electoral malpractices
have impeded greatly on the credibility of our electoral process in time past in Nigeria. The introduction and use of card readers designed by Nigerian engineers gave Nigerians hope during the general elections. As political watchers said, we defined the political process in the country. The device allowed voters to elect candidates of their choice, checkmating all fraudulent acts like multiple registration and unregistered voters. The process, however, was not without its challenges. In his paper entitled Technological Innovations in 2015 General Elections, Role of the Engineers, Chidi Nwafor said, as the Kogi and Bayelsa elections draw closer, modalities have been put in place to address challenges experienced.
We are using the card reader. We are using e-collection and transmission of result. Where from polling unit and one, you get result. Once you're using the track, voting on ground in the area. What then is stopping us from evil? The government will allow INEC to do evil unless amended.
96 Nigerian engineers were engaged in the use of the card readers in Abuja, NTA News.
To environmental matters now, millions of Nigerians are now living in fear over the potential flood that might occur as Cameroonian authorities announced readiness to release water from one of their dams, Lagdo Dam. If that happens again, it would not be the first. Musbaud al-Wahab tells us the story of how Nigeria became vulnerable to the threat of Lagdo Dam.
In the hours of flooding in Nigeria, 2012 falls out. Some might not recall, but definitely not the people of Kogi State. 623,900 were displaced in the state, the worst affected in the country. 152,575 hectares of farmland were also destroyed. Panic and fear rent the air, compounded at the same time by the release of water from Lagdo Dam in Cameroon.
All right now, even though we want to move out, myself, I don't have any money to build another house.
That fear obviously still looms, brought to the fore by the recent alert from the Cameroonian authorities that water from Lagdo Dam will soon be released. The story of the Lagdo Reservoir is to tell reminiscent of that adage, to be forewarned is to be forearmed. Cameroon did a forewarning 50 years ago. Nigeria is yet to arm itself.
The construction of Lagdo Dam started in 1977 and was completed in 1982. But in the process, an agreement was reached between the government of Nigeria and that of Cameroon, leading to the concept of a buffer dam in Adamawa State, Nigeria, called Dasin House Dam.
The intention at that time, in collaboration with Nigeria, is to maximize the effect of, the potentials of the river Benue, both for irrigation, hydropower, navigation, all the way from Gawa to the Niger Delta. That was the aim. And the two countries at the time agreed that this measure should be taken. Cameroon was to construct the Lagdo Dam, which they did and finished and started operation. So our dam was supposed to be about 2.5 times the size of that.
Kashimbilo Dam in Taraba State exemplifies what Dasin Hausa is intended to achieve. A buffer for igneous, the dam is over 90% completed. Its potentials for irrigation, farming and hydropower functions abound.
Dasin Hausa Dam is the one that actually I myself am a bit confused why it wasn't done the time it was supposed to be done.
And now, observers believe Nigerians are not supposed to be left helpless to bear the brunt of the apparent negligence of past successive administrations.
When we see the government is not necessarily doing enough, to see the reoccurrence of what happened in 2012. We have an MOU that is ongoing. We are almost finalizing it with the Cameroonian authorities, and we are good to go in constructing the dam. As soon as they finish with the design now.
Now that this is happening again in some states, that all governments will know that it's something that we need to look at very critically.
A permanent solution to the threat of Lagdo Dam to millions of Nigerians might be found in Dasin House Dam if and when constructed. In Abuja, Musbaud al-Wahab, NTA News.
Lack of awareness of associated risks in flood disasters could result in the failure to recognize or heed warnings associated with evacuation and relocations. These factors could lead to loss of lives, property and livelihoods. These were the views of experts at a one-day workshop on strengthening flood risk awareness in Lagos. Jennifer Igwe reports that the program was organized by the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA.
Flooding occurs, safety of the affected population, according to experts, is often dependent on the ability of disaster managers to note hazard risks. It is therefore important that such factors are included in disaster risk prevention designs and plans.
Whatever be your preparedness plan, it is distorted by activity of man, especially what we are looking at today, solid waste management. If we don't do it properly, you expect that the water that will not naturally pass unnoticed will turn out to become flood water.
Crucial in this strategy is appropriate management of solid and liquid waste.
And this has been causing a lot of displacement for people in the state. And as we experienced in 2010, even from 2012, we have some people that are internally displaced as a result of the flood. And that's what is causing the major causes of that in the urban area is the waste being dumped into the waterway. To further strengthen our stakeholders, to impart more knowledge into them so that at their various ends and functions, they will appreciate and disseminate further to the man on the street and at the local level.
Most participants at this workshop are usually first responders during flood disasters, and key things they are taking away from this training is how to identify disaster risk, especially as it concerns solid waste, which most times are inappropriately dumped in drainage channels. Now in Lagos, venue of the workshop, Jennifer Igwe reporting for NTA News.
And from Akwa Ibom State comes a report that Governor Udom Emmanuel says the industrialization policy of the state will be fast-tracked with infrastructural development. He said this at the groundbreaking of a 1.5-kilometer drainage system at Insikak area of Road. Imo Etim Udo was there, and I report.
Governor Udom Emmanuel said though the trust of his administration is industrialization, no industry can thrive in an environment of infrastructural decay. He noted that even at dwindling revenue accruing to the state, a prudent administration like his will be able to draw priorities, and added that since the industries are not directly run by government, the state's economy will continue to flourish. The governor promised continuous intervention on natural disasters while working to permanently control flooding in the state.
Here is their attention to what made my living. And one of them is on air environment. So many of us know what we normally go through around here. The motorists, the air riders, commercial vehicles, private vehicles, even other computers and other users of this road. It's been a nightmare whenever I went around here.
In Uyo, Imo Etimodo, NTA News.
The imperatives for sustaining the global goals of ending the issues of poverty, hunger, environmental degradation, achieving health for all, and the other targets contained in the Millennium Development Goals, MDGs, were the focus on today's episode of Good Morning Nigeria. The views expressed by the guest on the program were profound and deeply reflective of the gains made over the last 15 years in Nigeria through the intervention of various MDG initiatives, while they made projections on the prospect of the planned Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs. Ngufan Shaji tells us more.
The panel of guests was made up of stakeholders who have been involved in various levels in the implementation of the Millennium Development Goals in Nigeria. They began by reviewing the global targets set by world leaders in the year 2000 and praised the impact on the living condition of Nigerians in the implementing years.
When you look at the roads in the country, it's full of abandonment, hawking, doing one thing or the other. Some abandoned school to go hawking. But when MDG came in, we were able to restore our glory and bring up some of our children to attend school. In terms of some of the health goals with HIV and AIDS. We've also done well with Goal 8, although we still have a long way to go.
The need to build on the achievements sustained over the last 15 years informed the new successor framework that the United Nations called the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs. The mandate of UN member countries is to evolve agendas and implement political policies to consolidate on the claims of the MDGs while driving the countries closer to clinching the target of a healthy and prosperous world.
I think it's important that when we see the SDGs, one of the big differences that we will not have an SDG plan. We will have Nigeria's plan that integrates the SDGs. You have to see them as means of trying to reach the objective of eradicating poverty by 2030. Reviewing activities, programs, projects, implementation stages achieved is part of this new framework.
The Sustainable Development Goals is expected to expand on the MDGs with 17 goals, 169 targets and over 500 indicators. They cover major spheres of life with programs to protect people, the planet and create global prosperity. In Abuja, Gufan Shaji, NTA News.
On August the 17th, 2015, Total E&P Nigeria reported that it had stopped expedition of crude oil on its Obagi Rumwete oil export pipeline after observing an oil spill. In a press release, Total said the oil spill was at kilometer 25 and 27 locations and that relevant authorities were informed.
Press release made available to NTA News by Total E&P. The press release also stated that a joint investigating visit was carried out on the oil spill locations in company of DPR, NOSRA and the Rivers State Ministry of Environment, ascertaining the cause of the spill to third-party interference. The release also pointed out that Total mobilized intervention teams to calm the leaks in the pipeline, with relevant agencies and service providers also mobilized and deployed containment booms to arrest the spill and prevent further spread.
Total E&P reiterates that it is committed to preventing further spread of the spill and restore the environment, stating that it will continue to work with the relevant government authorities and communities to ensure that this is achieved.
Every goal, every success deserves your all. Only 100% will do. Chivita, 100%. Chivita 100% juice, made from real natural fruit, with no preservative and no added sugar. The best always believes 100%. 100% commitment. 100% quality. 100% achievement. With 100% goodness and real taste of fruit. 100% or nothing.
Agriculture and rice value chain, automobile manufacturing, automobile sales and services, steel manufacturing, mining, fisheries and aquaculture, plastics and polymers, petrochemicals and packaging, port operations, shipping and logistics, warehousing and distribution, fertilizers, real estate, technology and financial services. Stallion Group is dedicated towards its social responsibilities with focus on rural and community development, healthcare, child welfare, and a sustainable environment. Stallion Group is committed to making the lives of our people better by providing quality products at an affordable price. Stallion, proudly Nigerian.
Thank you for being there. We are sorry for the poor sound earlier on. Now, despite government financing initiatives running into billions of naira, electricity supply has for long been a major challenge to the growth and development of small-scale enterprises in Nigeria. However, the power supply situation is improving. This may spell better days ahead for the small-scale entrepreneurs. Business News examines the situation.
Good evening, thanks for joining us on Business News tonight. The federal government has concluded arrangements to tackle some of the challenges being experienced at the polls. This is to expedient seamless clearance of goods. Consequently, a first vision forum was held by the various government agencies to educate importers and exporters on the benefits of the Nigerian Custom Integrated System.
What is the trade government that initiates transaction? It's a full end. And that is one of the key places that we first and foremost say, let's visualize for end, which is the forest control constituent. And the attachment to that transaction that are coming from other standard organization should be now be available for regulators to see.
Under the new arrangement, importers of goods are expected to process their documents online.
Unlike what is happening now when people come to the office and negotiate with, I don't think that we thinking forward on how to enhance the operation. So it's a welcome development.
Businesses have until the end of November this year to key into the automated platform, as manual documentation will no longer be accepted at the expiration of the deadline. Until the
We seem to be having some audio challenges with reports from Lagos. We are sorry about that. Now, the federal government says revenue challenge is responsible for the delay in payment of civil servant salaries. Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Finance, Anastasia Daniel Mobia, while briefing the press on the outcome of the monthly Federation Account Allocation Committee meeting, FAC, also disclosed that 511.7 billion naira was distributed as revenue for the month of July. Details with Leah Katun Babatunde.
Federation Account Allocation Committee meeting, which is the 8th for the years, not without its challenges, as public servants would again see their salaries roll into the month of September. Permanent Secretary to the Ministry of Finance, Anastasia Daniel assured is a passing phase resulting from the fall in revenue since 2014.
That when we improve and we are able to build our meetings, assuming within the second week of the month, salary will be paid much earlier.
On insinuations that some parastatals are still withholding funds meant to be transferred to the Treasury single account, she said the executive order by the President leaves no room for exemptions.
The further confirmation of the present administration's resolve that provisions of the Constitution must be adhered to.
No exemption. I'm not aware of any exemption, and if it is within the we are here to be granted. All agencies of government are supposed to keep it as directed.
Gross revenue for the month of July was 433.584 billion naira. 511.799 billion naira was distributed, comprising 499.06 billion naira distributable revenue, which includes value-added tax VAT, 6.409 billion naira exchange gain, and 6.33 billion naira refund by the NNPC to the federal government. The excess pool account now stands at $2.257 billion. In Abuja, Leah Katumbabatule, NTA News.
As part of efforts to fully domesticate welding and fabrication activities in Nigeria, 20 Nigerian welders that scaled through the various stages of Petroleum Technology Development Fund Welders Training and Certification Program in manual metal welding have commenced an advanced and specialized training program at the German Institute of Welding, Turkey. Joseph Johnson reports that the program, which is key to the realization of Nigeria's local content capacity building, is facilitated by the Nigerian Institute of Welding in collaboration with the PTDF.
The successful Nigerians participating in the 3-month advanced welding training program are drawn from the 6 geopolitical zones of Nigeria, and 2 of them are women. President, Nigerian Institute of Welding, Dr. Solomon Edebe, said that trainees on graduation will form the core of Nigerian welding professionals that will be competent in oil and gas construction, among others.
As Nigeria pursues the attainment of Vision 2020, this training and other related things will play a major role.
So when you have a student out of this place, you are sure he will be welder. And of course, you need to have him with some skill.
PTDF Executive Secretary Femi Ajayi expressed the hope that the exercise will ultimately lead to the realization of Nigeria's drive for technological advancement and sustainable development.
This phase plans advanced and specialized welding course will expose the training in 5 advanced welding processes, namely flux core welding, TIG welding, MIG welding, mag welding, and acetylene gas welding.
We are here now in Turkey, and we are trying to, by the grace of God, to concentrate and learn this skill so that when we go back to our country, we impart it to our nation. The welders' training and certificate is in response to the federal government Nigerian content drive towards ensuring complete domiciliation of oil and gas activities in the country. Joseph Johnson, NTA News.
We have more environment-related stories now. Some communities in Abuja East local government area of Rivers State are currently counting their losses following an oil spill from the Nigerian Egypt oil pipeline that is spreading across the environment. The spill, which occurred last Friday, has been spreading across farmlands and streams in the affected communities. Kingsley Amajiri has more on that report.
The oil spillage along Abuja Brass pipeline, according to eyewitnesses, occurred last Friday and has been on as at the time of this report, spreading across farmlands and rivers in Obe and other communities. Similar oil spillage also occurred in Uhaba, Imuwo and Edoku communities. Some members of the community surveillance team attributed the spill to a valve failure, regretting that their economic lives are under threat.
The surveillance team, they decided to rush to the Aju to tell them that their oil was rushing in the pipeline.
The oil was carried by water through a canal to the river Sombrero, the only source of drinking water and fishing.
Now that our source of livelihood has been affected by oil spill, we need relief materials, especially water.
A team of Ajip officials who were in the community to address the situation were turned back by the youth who allegedly did not accept the terms of the remediation. Efforts by NTA News crew to get reaction from the Nigerian Ajip Oil Company was unsuccessful as they turned down our request for on-camera interview. From Obe in Abuja East local government area, Kingsley Amajiri, NTA News.
Turning to another type of pollution now, exposure to smoke from traditional cook stoves and open fires, the primary means of cooking for nearly 3 billion people in the developing world, causes 4 million premature deaths annually. It is the fourth worst overall health risk factor in the world and second worst for women and girls. Here in Nigeria, the Rural Women Energy Security Initiative, in partnership with the United Nations Development Program, established a project to enhance access to clean energy and skills acquisition. To this end, a capacity enhancement workshop was held for members of the initiative in Abuja. Nigeria contributes 10% annual deaths globally, and over 98,000 Nigerian women die annually due to firewood-related diseases. The deaths recorded from firewood usage are higher compared to HIV, tuberculosis and malaria put together. Cooking with firewood also contributes to deforestation and land degradation. That is why the Rural Women Energy Security Initiative has embarked on an aggressive campaign for attitudinal change towards the use of clean cook stoves and renewable energy.
How do we build resilience towards some of the impacts of climate change? And also to how do we enlighten and educate our people and teach them to adopt those simple technologies that could easily create easy livelihoods for our people.
A woman that cooks breakfast, lunch and dinner in an enclosed kitchen like this has smoked equivalent of 3 packets of cigarettes a day, every day. So if you close your eyes and you think about your traditional kitchen, you see that the wall is black. That's exactly how your lungs are. The Rural Women Energy Security Initiative is also in the business of empowering the rural women and training them in entrepreneurship skills. They will also be trained in assembly of cook stoves and production of briquettes.
Train and educate the people to understand the benefit health-wise, the economic benefit as well, and then train them the financial analysis in terms of financial management, how to manage a business.
So far, over 2 million women across Nigeria have benefited from the Rural Women Energy Security Initiative. State of Onitsha-Enugu Expressway poses major concern to motorists and other road users. We will tell you more about this and the flag of additional roads to decongest traffic in the capital city. Join us again.
Dettol 175 grams family soap. Buy Dettol family soap for 200 naira and save 50 naira.
Indomie presents Flash and Wheel Lemon. Buy Indomie within super packs. Find the phone number written on the signal wrapper inside the sachet. Start flashing the numbers and you stand a chance to get instant recharge up to 1,000 naira. You also stand a chance to win 100,000 naira daily and 1 million naira in the mega draws. The more you flash, the more you win. Offer valid while stocks last. Terms and conditions apply. Indomie, tasty nutrition, good for you. Hello! Would you like some water? It's cold, especially for you. Which era are you living in? We have a fridge. When everything else in your house is from the present, then why are your toilet cleaning methods from the past? Harpic, all-in-one for you. Compared to other toilet cleaners, Harpic removes top stains, kills all germs, and removes bad odors. For a shining clean and fresh toilet. Wow! You should also take the Harpic all-in-one tablet. Some oils can be bad for your health, such as unbranded oil, which is often packed unhygienically and may contain substances that are toxic to the body. High-fat content is not good for our diet, so we have to be extremely careful when choosing our oil. In addition to this, adulterated oil may contain trans fat and high level of cholesterol, both of which are not good for a healthy diet. That's why I use power oil for my family. An oil with zero trans fat and no cholesterol. A healthy oil for a healthy family.
National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, they bring on this message.
HIV type 1, dental dog. Dental provides 10 times more protection after eating competition. Dental is the non-only antiseptically proven to protect from up to 100 illnesses and germs. So why take a risk with your loved ones?
Again, thank you very much for being there. We take you to Anambra now, where the state of Onitsha-Enugu Expressway is now posing major concern to motorists and other road users. Genevieve Nzeribe reports that the worst affected portions is the stretch from Inteje and Omonia, both in Oyi local government area of the state. It takes imagination to understand the experience of traveling on the road many identify as a traveler's nightmare. Many other city road is a dirt trap, following high carnage from frequent accidents there. To say the least, the 40-kilometer portion between Awka, the Anambra state capital, and the commercial city of Onitsha takes motorists from 1 to 2 hours as they wade through potholes and gullies on the road.
The road is so deplorable. I blame the past government. Most of the time, vehicles do fall along this road. Truck. If you look at my car, behind me, there is one last incident. There have been several.
Indigenous and residents of affected communities traced the problem to 2009 when rehabilitation work began on the road, which broke down even before its completion.
Several contractors have been employed to work on the road, but to our greatest surprise, not one of them has done a reasonable job. I wish the federal government will come on immediately to rescue us from this mess.
efforts to get reactions from officials of the Federal Ministry of Works in the state did not yield results, as the controller is said to be away at official duty.
One of the reasons given for the failure of the road and the delay in rehabilitating it is the topography of the area, which is prone to erosion, hence the need for palliative measures such as this stone pitching work here. But observers puncture this excuse as they know that all this should have been taken into consideration before taking on the project. They rather express the hope that more honest efforts should be made to end the anguish of commuters on this road. From the Umunya portion of Enugu on the Express Road, journalist Uwedo Uzaribe, NTA News.
In the meantime, Nasarawa state government has flagged off the construction of additional roads within Mararaba-Karu local government area in order to decongest traffic jam into the nation's capital, Abuja. Governor Almakura says the projects are expected to be completed before the end of the year. Joshua Ojito tells us more.
Flagging off the 5.7-kilometer Maraba and Hashimu road, which is one of the feeder roads, Governor Almakura says the project becomes necessary as it will ease hardship faced by motorists. Describing Karu as the economic hub of the state, Governor Almakura emphasized that his administration will focus more on infrastructural development of the area in order to make it attractive to investors. He tasked contractors handling critical government projects in Karu to ensure timely completion of projects for the benefit of inhabitants of the area.
Already we are constructing bridges because this particular project will take care of the bridge just as that has caused so much hardship to the people living within this corridor.
Meanwhile, in continuation of his one-week working visit in Karu, Governor Almakura visited Maraba Abattoir and revealed plan to give the place a facelift. On some government lands that are being used for dumping of refuse, the governor ordered for immediate evacuation of waste, considering the health hazards it poses to people in the area. Also, Governor Almakura announced plans to build low-income earners estate in Mararaba to ease accommodation challenges faced by civil servants and other Nigerians residing in the area. In Karu, local government area of Nasarawa State, Joshua Ojito, NTA News.
Recent appointments made by President Muhammadu Buhari were based on merit and the need to have competent professionals in sensitive public positions. Osun State Governor Rauf Arebeshola said this in Itotumodu at a reception in honor of the Special Advisor on Media and Publicity to the President, Mr. Femi Adesina. Tunji Adepoju has the details.
It was a homecoming of sorts for presidential spokesman Mr. Femi Adesina when his townspeople organized a reception for him in Itotumodu, Osun State. Governor Rauf Arebeshola of Osun State described appointments made so far by the president as based on merit. He described Mr. Adesina's appointment as justified because he has had over 78 years of media experience. He said Osun State is happy to be associated with Mr. Adesina and advised him to maintain close contact with his roots. Mr. Adesina expressed appreciation to President Muhammadu Buhari over his appointment. He commended Governor Rauf Arebeshola for standing firm in his commitment to move Osun State forward despite criticisms. He thanked his people for the recognition accorded him and his family, promising to be a worthy ambassador of Itotumodu. He also spoke on some national issues.
You already can see the things that are unfolding, and they are just samples of what will come. The president has been elected for 48 months. He has spent about 3. These are just early days. You can be sure that before the end of his term, you will be very glad that you elected this president.
The traditional ruler of Itotumodu, about James Adegoke, and other traditional chiefs prayed for the success of Mr. Femi Adesina in his new assignments. From Itotumodu, Tunji Adepoju, NTA News.
As the Osogbo Festival continues to generate goodwill and international recognition for Osun State, its spiritual connotation becomes more visible. Foreigners and Nigerian adherents of the water goddess say Osun worship is the best thing that will ever happen to them. Here again is Tunji Adepoju with the details.
Worship of the river goddess in Osun State has no doubt stamped this part of Nigeria on the world map. The celebration, which comes up every August, has assumed an international privilege status a long time ago. Osun adherents from the Americas, Caribbean, Asia, Red Kingdom, and other parts of the world registered their presence at this year's edition. A lot of foreigners are here to celebrate the Osun Festival because they believe that traditional worship is the end thing in their part of the country. Yeah, I've been to Nigeria about five, 6 times now. They're good. First time to the festival. I came here as part of research I'm doing on a book, and this is my first time in Nigeria, my first time at the festival. It was fascinating, and I learned a lot, and it will help me a lot with the book I'm writing. It is the source upon which we African-American practitioners of Yoruba tradition, which you would call traditionalists, base our own ceremonies, rituals, and festivals on. All economies are cultures, and you can only construct a viable, sustainable economy on the basis of the mastery of your culture and your environment. What the people from the diaspora, who are people who are taking away your children of great-great-great-grandchildren is taken away from here hundreds of years back, what they have seen is what a liberated person sees. Osogbo has some unique features. Although the festival has come and gone, some other visitors continue their visits to the grove for solution to their life's issues. In Osogbo, to the Adepoju, NTA News.
This is NTA News Extra. More to come on Global Tidbits and Sports Updates. Join us again.
Introducing Dettol 175 grams family soap. Buy Dettol family soap for 200 naira and save 50 naira.
Some oils can be bad for your health, such as unbranded oil, which is often packed unhygienically and may contain substances that are toxic for the body. High-fat content is not good for our diet, so we have to be extremely careful when choosing our oil. In addition to this, adulterated oil may contain trans fat and high level of cholesterol, both of which are not good for a healthy diet. That's why I use power oil for my family. An oil with zero trans fat and no cholesterol. A healthy oil for a healthy family.
Welcome back. On the foreign scene, South Sudan's President Salva Kiir signs peace deal with rebels, and 2 United States journalists shot dead live on air. These are more Global Tidbits with Talatu Ezerito.
The President of South Sudan has signed a peace deal with rebels after a threat of sanctions from the United Nations. He, however, has some reservations over how the mediation process was conducted. Still in Africa, about 50 people are reported to have been found in a boat carrying migrants that was intercepted off the coast of Libya. Similarly, German Chancellor Angela Merkel has urged the citizens to take a stand against shameful anti-migrant protests. From the United States, 2 journalists were shot dead during a live television report, and the 9/11 survivor, whose photograph became one of the enduring images of the terrorist attacks, has died of stomach cancer at the age of 42. That is all on Global Tidbits. Tomato Zeriki, NTA News.
Television Authority sets to rally support for diasporan athletes as Blessing Okabaro withdraws from the 200-meter event of the IAAF World Championship. Kele Emma Abedike takes it up from here.
The Director
Director General of Nigerian Television Authority, Shola Omole, says the authority will use its wide reach to gather support for Nigerian sportsmen and women in the diaspora. The DG, who was represented by the Executive Director of Special Duties, Joseph Etuk, made the statement midweek in Abuja at a party with a team of British-based Nigerian boxers led by the promoter, Bimbo Robert Falayon. Omole charged athletes home and abroad to always be mindful of the nation's pride as they compete with their peers across the globe.
I want to remind you, people like the Tiger, Hagan Dashi, and of recent, some hospitals. These are world champions, and they are all Nigerians. So we want to encourage you to follow suit. And next time you come here, I should be expecting you to come with the best that we will show to Nigerians that are truly representing us.
The boxers, Shogun Ajosu and Larry Ekundayo, who have both recorded successes in their careers over the years, are lined up for key battles in the global boxing calendar. Ajosu is going for the shot at the world title early next year, while Ekundayo hopes to clinch the African Union title in London on the 2nd of October this year.
We have to try and get support from our people, the government, and also the private body and all that, and also our media. We need to put our name up there and show
Great Britain's Daniel Hughes, who ran 20.14 seconds, sprint heavyweight Justin Gatlin with a 19.87 finish, and Beijing's favorite Usain Bolt, who ran 19.95, all led their semi-final lineups at the 200 meters main event of the ongoing IAAF World Athletics Championships on Wednesday. They will be joined by Nigerian-born Qatar sprinter Femi Ogunwode, Jamaica's Mikel Ashmid, South Africa's Amafa Jibogwanda, and Ramil Guriev of Turkey in the final, which takes place on Thursday. Meanwhile, Nigeria's IAAF medal hope, Blessing Okabore, has withdrawn from the 200 meters event of the IAAF World Championships. Okabore was scheduled to run in the third heat of the 200 meters event after finishing last in the 100 meters, but she did not show up. Her absence from both events destroys any slim hope Nigeria had in claiming any medal in the championships. Okabore won bronze in the 200 meters in the 2013 edition in Moscow, where she also secured silver in the long jump. With Sport Update, Kamin Emaborike, NTA News.
A renowned educationist and one-time Director General, Federal Ministry of Education, during the administration of former President Ibrahim Babangida, Dr. Yahya Hamza, who died in Kaduna, has been laid to rest. Muhammad Umar Anjige reports that the funeral attracted sympathizers, which include the Sultan of Sokoto.
Dr. Yahya Hamza died at the age of 80. He was a renowned educationist and uncle to the Kaduna State Governor. Sympathizers described Dr. Yahya Hamza as a man of integrity who served the nation diligently. Dr. Yahya Hamza served in different capacities, both at state and federal levels. He was a former secretary to Kaduna State Government and also former chairman, West African Examination Council, WAEC, among others. The deceased left behind 18 children, 2 wives, and many grandchildren. In Kaduna, I'm Muhammad Umar Ajingi, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Yakubu Dogara, has condoled the Kaduna State Governor, Nasir El-Rufai, over the death of his foster father, Malam Yahya Hamza. In a statement issued by his Special Advisor on Media and Public Affairs, Turaki Hassan, Dogara prayed God to give the family the fortitude to bear the irreparable loss. He said the late Hamza played a key role in the training and upbringing of Malam El-Rufai, as described in his famous autobiography, The Accidental Public Servant. The Speaker regretted that Hamza's demise came at a time when The Kaduna State Governor needed his fatherly counsel and guidance as he steers the affairs of Kaduna State. The Speaker further extolled the virtues of the late Hamza, whom he described as a foremost educationist and renowned technocrat. He said his contribution to the educational development of Nigeria will not be forgotten. Time now for a quick check on the weather prospects across the country. Concludes this edition of the program. From me and the production crew, thank you for your company.